Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be spawning in game number 1 of this Protoss vs. Terran that has 2 Zerg players in it. Spawn down here in the bottom left-hand corner of the map from Team On Fire. Give it up for the pink Zerg playing Protoss, Scarlett.
Well, you guys always get ZVZ finals. You know how Rifkin will be like, hey, man, let's not get plagued with another ZVZ finals. Well, the rate things are going right now, I don't think we're going to get one, as we do have representing Root for Root as well as Mexico. Give it up for JimRising, a blue Terran player.
I want to give a quick shout out to Crank, who hosted the stream at some point. I'm so sorry I did not notice the host initially, but I think he did host it quite a bit ago probably. So thank you so much, Crank, for the host.
There you go. Big shout out to Crank, man. I love Crank.
Crank is awesome.
I was actually chilling in his stream the other day as he was playing Hearthstone. He's a hilarious Hearthstone player.
Crank is just a hilarious everything player. But I want to talk about this game really quickly, Tempo.
He's a really good streamer.
Like, okay, for this game, when both players are off racing, is this when you go really, really cheesy, you just go crazy cheese? Or is just playing standard already a cheesy thing to do because you're both off racing?
Because you're both already, right? I don't even know, man. Like, I've never seen JimRising off race, or at least play Terran.
I feel like I want to give Scarlett the advantage here because we've already seen Scarlett has warmed up her Protoss. Even Protoss versus Terran.
Oh, the pylon!
The pylon block versus Terran.
Any expansion here.
But you could just throw it down right next to it.
That's like the Zerg mentality right there, though. Like, what does Protoss do to me that pisses me off?
Oh my god, that is very accurate, Tempo. I'm not sure Scarlett thought that one through.
Nah, it's probably like, you know, she thought it was probably clever, but
it's like, oh man, it was so
JimRising,
annoying.
I mean, imagine if JimRising had that Zerg mentality and he's like, oh man, where am I gonna put my command center now? And he like really didn't put it down next to it. That could have been the case. You never know. You never know.
That would have been actually great if just JimRising didn't realize it. And he was like, I guess I got a one base all in now.
And he goes, no, he puts it on like the low ground third.
Oh yeah.
And then Scarlett would do like a pylon rush or something, but
oh jeez,
we are not seeing that here, Fear Dragon. I don't even know, like, do we cast this like a regular game? Like,
I don't know, man. I think we just gotta take it one step at a time. One step at a time.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, so adept pressure, pretty common in PvT. JimRising though has a tech lab finished up on this factory, going up to a starport, but not making anything out of that factory. I'm not sure if that's because I mean, he's banking a lot of resources now as he kills off that adept. Was he just waiting? Yeah, he was just waiting. Gonna be making a cyclone.
Okay.
I was thinking maybe he was gonna go for Cloak Banshees or something. Cloak Banshees, I would love to see if you're off racing.
If he just like pulled that off, right? Busted off some kind of like weird kind of strategy. And I always wonder when like pro players go for their off racing kind of strategies. Do they think of on their own and just do it up, or it's like, okay, I saw this once in GSL or SSL or that time that I watched.
I'm willing to bet that Scarlett, at least, Scarlett's going to be doing existing strategies. Like right now, she's going for this robotics bay with the warp prism. Oh god, the adepts actually make their way in because JimRising is not used to having supply depots. But Scarlett doesn't want to get trapped in there. She does end up canceling.
Yeah. But okay, well,
we're probably going to be seeing disruptor drops out of Scarlett.
I wonder, yeah. Because she made a warp prism, did she not, from the first one?
Mm-hmm.
And there's already that robotics bay, while JimRising is going for the Liberator.
Yeah.
8 marine drop heading across the map.
It's something that I've seen both Puck as well as Neeb doing a lot of, just those speed warp prisms with disruptors. I know Scarlett also watches State stream a lot, so maybe it's from State, maybe it's from Neeb, I'm not really sure. But Scarlett gonna be coming in here first with the adepts, but oh god, she's gotta be careful with that warp prism, that cyclone already target firing her down.
It is going to get it down really low, but she goes back in with the warp prism.
Cyclone and the warp prism go down. Some of these SCVs are gonna end up dying though, because the SCVs are trying to head on a gauge against the adepts.
What? Meanwhile, in bottom lane, there is going to be a drop here from JimRising, but there is a disruptor.
Oh no, the disruptor! He's not paying attention!
Oh, very expensive unit. You do not want to lose that for free.
But the adepts are still going ham.
What? It got taken out at the last second.
Oh god. And at the same time, we end up seeing a decent chunk of these workers killed off. 5 workers killed. Scarlett taking a pretty substantial lead so far in the worker count, but does JimRising have enough with these Marines to do some severe damage to Scarlett's economy?
The mothership core is completely out of position, and now
oh my god, but a lot of workers!
Oh no, that's JimRising targeting down probes, and there goes the photon overcharge, but the medevac gets away just by the skin.
Oh, there's a liberator! There's a liberator that Scarlett didn't notice! They're just killing workers! There's 27 workers killed!
28! Scarlett is down to 23 workers. Did not even realize that that liberator made its way over there. And JimRising. Jaime.
Some things are true across the matchups. Liberators and Widow Mines. Still a pain.
What are the things that really piss me off when I play against them? It's like Widow Mines. It's like Liberators. Disruptors.
Pylon blocks.
That's the funniest part, I think. The fact that the pylon block went down was probably my favorite thing of the whole night.
I'm really just enjoying JimRising's take on Terran. With these production facilities.
Oh, I was
just like, all right, so I'm baking some minerals. I guess I just make a lot of barracks with reactors, like make Marines.
No,
Marines are inbound.
No, the medevac that JimRising was moving around with had like 1 HP, and Scarlett had a warp prism driving and had a stalker in it. Dropped down the stalker and just picked it off.
That is fantastic. Oh, disruptor shot does kill off a couple of those workers as well as the siege tank. Adept gonna go back in for the kill.
Oh, I can't even keep my composure for this, man. This is insane.
But don't worry, Tempo. We got how many Marines being made at a time? 11 Marines. 11 Marines from the 5 barracks with reactor and the single tech
one with the tech lab on it.
You know, who needs stim? Who needs combat? Okay, Scarlett or JimRising does have stim, but who needs combat shields, man?
Nah, nobody got time for that.
Just
this
make
liberator
more.
is gonna get taken out at the bottom, but there is a warp prism coming on in. Scarlett trying to equalize on that economic damage that was done, and there goes a liberator, or rather a disruptor shot. Love the speed warp prism. Those Marines do not have medevacs to heal them up.
I feel like this game is weirdly evening out right now at Tempo.
It is. JimRising stopped making workers, you know. He hasn't got that concept of that you constantly make workers as a Terran or a Protoss, you know. It's a little different when you're a Zerg player. Whoop.
Warp Prism got to be very careful. That's carrying Scarlett's Disruptor in it. She does have a couple back at home, though. Starting to get up a very, very scary army. And, oh, God. Tempo, you know what just occurred to me? Something that Zerg players don't really have to do very often is split Marines. That's a really, really important part of dealing with disruptors.
Yeah, picking up the Marines, splitting Marines, making sure to target fire and then like resplit. It's like, that Warp Prism though, it's in a lot of trouble if it doesn't get away in time. Oh, the micro!
Oh, so close! Warp Prism survives 1 hit point away from dying over there to those Liberators, or at least 1 shot, I should say.
Yeah, that was really close. She played it a bit safe, but she dropped down the less expensive cargo out first. But luckily for her, she did not lose that Disruptor. But that army looking pretty scary. We've gotten to this point. Well, we've got to this point of the game, Fear Dragon. 52 workers to 42. Scarlett having that lead, despite taking so much economic damage earlier. She did equalize it.
All right, both of these players gonna be moving on in across the map. JimRising definitely having the better, or the I would say the inferior army in this situation, but he does have a lot more reinforcements coming in. They're gonna really, really bump up the value of this army with the siege tanks.
Yeah, there are no Marauders here. You know, it's gonna be all up to the Marines and the tanks. Tanks, if they can get in the Liberators as well, but
good disruptor shot. Warp Prism made its way somewhere. Did it end up dying?
I believe, actually, I did not see it die.
Warp Prism is in the units lost tab, but disruptors
no, it's
are
over in the top left.
Oh, I see. Yeah, right there. But JimRising is doing some good damage with the siege tanks. Got to be really careful though. Scarlett is getting some really nice pickoffs with those disruptors.
Yeah, and she does have blink. Remember that. The drop is going to go into the main, but she could blink on top of those medevacs. Does she?
She's not used to it.
It's really tough. I can understand the feeling right now.
But units can teleport?
Triple?
Doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
All right. JimRising is really run out of Marines. He's waiting on the next wave of reinforcements. Not used to maybe the production style, because both of these guys are banking up so many minerals right now.
But the repositioning of the Liberators gonna push those Stalkers and Disruptors into a corner. Marines trying their best here. Can't even blink on the Liberators yet, but the Tempest to save the day is going to be able to take out the Liberator and even be able to take out the Siege Tank at the bottom. One goes down. A second one could go down at the same time, but here come the Marines to save the day. Oh,
Scan going down is not going to be able to get it. Oh my god, he killed his own Stalkers out with the Disruptor shot.
She shoots her own Stalkers, and she needs those in order to clean up the Liberators after this.
This game is a roller coaster of emotions. Marines target firing down some of these workers. Disruptors maybe going to look for another opportunity to fire. The Tempest still wailing away. It looks like a majority of this push is going to get cleaned up, but JimRising comes in with another reinforcing wave, enough to maybe push Scarlett back. Once again, Scarlett has also dropped quite a bit in terms of worker supply, but she still has that Warp Prism just waiting to be used on the other side of the map.
It hasn't been used, and she has a lot of money. Hasn't been utilizing her warp gates that much. And remember, well, imagine just disrupting the economy of JimRising and attention. You go and warp it in the main, he looks back, and then, oh my god, I think she's cleaning up here. What? Talk about scattered thoughts by Tempo.
I mean, look at the kills on the Tempest. 7 kills, 3 kills, 1 kill. These are things like Liberator kills. These are things like Siege Tank kills, not just Marines and medevacs. These are really high value target kills from the Tempest.
Yeah, they picked off a lot of those Siege Tanks and Liberators.
I mean, Scarlett still kills off the, or sorry, Scarlett still loses the third though. And JimRising, I feel like, still has a decently sized army and spends that bank and says, Thor is here. I have a factory. What am I supposed to do with this as a Terran player? I guess I'll get Thors. Those are good units, right?
I mean, why not? I've never seen a Thor in this matchup in Legacy of the Void.
Nor have I think I've seen very few, if any.
Maybe like
at all.
Lillikinen did something weird with it once, or
so EJK has probably made one, or a Velo.
Yep. Well, that's a lot of Tempest, you know, but Tempest don't do that well against a large amount of upgraded bio units. It's usually good for thinning them out when they are at lower numbers.
And you really need the High Templars to complement it if you're going to have a straight up Tempest army. You need the High Templars for Storm. Disruptors can be okay as well, but it does get a little bit more control intensive, I would say, when you start getting just pure Disruptors involved. Warp Prism trying to do a little bit of harassment, just kill off 3 workers, but JimRising has a planetary fortress at this 4th expansion. Scarlett going to try and establish her own 4th expansion, but triple medevac drop.
Yeah, triple medevac drop, gonna be heading to what looks like the main. There is a Phoenix that is patrolling, but look at how, oh no, yeah, the patrol path is really wide, and it just misses the medevacs. Although I think she saw it. If she can snipe this with the Tempest, that would be so clutch.
Ooh. She should have it. She should have more than enough to one-shot one of these medevacs. Maybe 2 of them. Oh, no! She's just 1 short. Oh, the Phoenix is going to be able to kill off 2 of them, though.
Yep.
No! Other one survives. Just barely.
2 HP.
He attacks, JimRising attacks the other medevac once. Not used to microing Phoenixes while target firing. Not easy to do.
It can get pretty tough. JimRising is about maxed up, though. Almost maxed out. Big force of Marines are going to be heading here, but that could be just 1 disruptor shot away from just absolute decimation.
Oh, already losing a lot of these Marines in the meanwhile. JimRising just going to target fire down the 3rd and say, these are Marines, Scarlett. I can remake them. They cost nothing.
Yep. And the main base under fire at the same time. The sick multitasking. You thought that Zerg player
Oh! You were saying tempo on the sick multitasking.
All right, well, down goes, but the Nexus survives.
Nexus
Nexus
barely
is
survives. JimRising
They can mine
is
that little bit of gas that is left.
yeah. That 400 gas is gonna really come in handy. Oh boy.
Man.
Well,
okay. Well, that sucks.
This
that
game is a
to
roller
go
coaster of
down.
emotions, Tempo.
It really is, and JimRising only making Marines. You know, I don't know how we're supposed to deal with these Tempests.
Tempo, you don't need to make anything other than Marines. And I suppose some Vikings now, and a Thor. Don't forget your Thor.
Oh yeah, don't forget about the Thor. Thor is here.
Can we name this Thor?
Go on in.
Like, can we name him after like some famous luchador? Oh my God, those storms on those Vikings, obliterating them. And now these Vikings are gonna die from just 2 shots of the Tempest because they've taken so much damage. JimRising gonna have to back out.
Protoss.
Protoss.
He doesn't know how to engage it.
We need the like Home Story Cup Rotterdam soundboard where he's just going Protoss.
Protoss. This
Scarlett
is actually going pretty well for Scarlett. Like, this army that she's making can deal with Liberators, even deal with the Vikings if they're not split because of the High Templar. The ground army can never get close because of the Disruptors, and then the Blinkstalkers can move in for the kill if it's a drop.
Tempo, the Thors take out those cannons really quickly.
Wait, is he dropping the Thor?
Oh yeah, he dropped the Thor, and he's dropping from the backside of that 3rd expansion, taking out 16 of the workers, taking out the Mothership Core, and gonna lose the majority of this army.
Yeah.
Oh. Medevacs are going to go down. Oh no, JimRising missed the opportunity to also move into the 4th expansion. Could have completely shut down the economy of Scarlett. Misses out, I think, on a potential opportunity to force Scarlett into an all-in position, because the thing that Scarlett does not have, that JimRising does, is an economy. JimRising has the better economy. Scarlett has the better army.
Oh yeah, right now, this army quality of Scarlett is really nice. I would love it if she were to start upgrading the air, but I don't know if she knows what building even upgrades there.
She got 1 upgrade from for the +1 weapons, and she's up against the 2-2-1-2 from JimRising. The only thing that he's got, only thing he's got +1 on is, I think, the vehicle ship armor.
Well, good position here.
Storms going down, disruptor shots going down. The army of JimRising is once again obliterated. Kills off a couple of the units for Scarlett over here. The Marines
That's
also.
That's the best I think he could have done.
Oh my God, Marines also getting some decent kills. Oh my gosh, she's gonna kill. She's gonna lose all the Tempest. JimRising takes the game.
GG. What a
number
game.
1.
Game number 1 between Scarlett and JimRising. Went just as expected.
That was a fairly standard. A fairly standard PvT tempo.
Wow, Fear Dragon. I don't even know.
So
tonight has been absolute insanity.
Madness.
So good.
The best way I could describe that game is watching players who are capable of insanely high levels of mechanics, but just not knowing what to do with them.
You're like spamming and you're like, wait, what am I actually spamming?
Yeah, exactly. Like, we'd see huge portions of time where I feel like JimRising and Scarlett would both be banking up huge amounts of money, and not because they couldn't spend the money, it's because they weren't used to this idea of having to consistently produce units. They're used to like these spurts. Like, they're used to just spamming it out with larva. So they'd be like looking back as like, I mean, I would be larva injecting normally. I've been calling down my mules and chrono boosting properly, but like, I just don't have an army to follow this up.
Well,
I don't have the ability to split these Marines or control my disruptor shots without killing my own units.
Yeah, like the Zerg mentality is, all right, we're gonna go in, we're gonna lose our army, and then all of a sudden we're gonna just refill it again, right? Whereas, you know, you want to be constantly producing as every other race. So they get maxed out, and they're like, wait a minute, how do I even attack? I don't even know what I'm doing. JimRising couldn't even like trade his army out because he kept, you know, having to move back because of disrupted, and then the Tempest chipping away. Oh man!
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be hopping into our next game. The map for this is going to be yet another macro-oriented map, which kind of excites me and kind of scares me. We're hopping into Orbital Shipyard as soon as we get the go-ahead from Jim. we will be getting started. But ladies and gentlemen, you guys are watching the Chairs for Gaming NA Cup. I want to encourage you guys, first of all, to you can also play in these cups if you do want to. This is totally open signups and everything.
Of cups, I have one full of coffee here. If you want to,
yeah, cups are great, man. We were talking about how DX racers are effectively, or like chairs in general, but especially DX racers are effectively just things that cup you constantly in a comfortable fashion, so that you can sit comfortably.
So that they were the big spoon as well, pretty much.
I mean, realistically, that's kind of what chairs do. Chairs just spoon you. But on that thought, ladies and gentlemen, we're hopping into game number 2. We'll see you guys there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're hopping into it. Game number 2. As we spawn up here on top of the top right-hand player, the pink Protoss, who normally plays Zerg from Team On Fire. Give it up for Scarlett.
Woo! Hot damn! And on the other side of things, on the bottom, representing Root4Gaming, who normally plays Zerg as well, it is our blue Terran player, JimRising. Also known as JimRising. Jaime.
Also affectionately called Jimmy Queso, which feels a little bit racist, but that is Scarlett's words, not mine.
Oh, really? Well, I like Jimmy Queso.
Alright, Scarlett going for a Gateway Nexus that does delay the Cybernetic core just ever so slightly. But Tempo, this is the series I want to see JimRising go for an all-in, but he's not going to do it. He's going to go for the CC.
He's going to go for the CC, but maybe it's to fuel the all-in for later, you know? Like, what if? What if?
It's going to be a 4-port Banshee?
4-port... Oh, well, he did say that he had some HTO Mario strategies, but I was hoping that he was going to say he had some rough strategies, because that is the kind of player that if I'm going to off-race as Terran in a best of whatever series...
Oh, you definitely
I'm bringing some rough strategies to the table.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I don't think we have any rough strategies, because there's no Reapers being made. There are some other awesome rough strategies, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. A reactor gonna go down on top of this barracks. Do you think he might? I mean, you mentioned HTO Mario. You think he might be thinking about going for like Hellion opening?
I really don't know. It looks like it. It could be. Sometimes though, you know, it's like, what do I really need to make as a Terran player? And what is Scarlett gonna do to try to kill me? And well, I guess he's gonna be going for what looks to either be a defensive Widow Mines or a Widow Mine drop, but he never put down the starport.
Yeah.
So maybe he's just gonna chill.
Well, reactor finishes up. What? I was gonna say, like, watch him go for double reactor, or sorry, reactor Reaper that's super delayed, and just make Widow Mines and also just move them all across the map.
And just walk them. I would have loved it if he proxied it. It was like, all right, here we go. We're gonna proxy the factory, float it into the main, and then. Scarlett
What does JimRising keep lowering the supply depot? Like, he was doing this last time too. I think he's just trying to.
Can't see over it. They're like trying to shoot the adepts, but it's like, yo, there's a big depot in my way. I can't see.
My bullets can't make it over this depot. I'm doing friendly fire. See, this is all friendly fire.
The adepts are like
damage.
playing volleyball and throwing it like over the net, while the Marines can't really shoot up into the air because it overshoots every time.
That's true, but whoa, Tempo. We talked about this in our last series about how Scarlett going for the Stargate. I was expecting her to really go for the Oracle, but she's going for Phoenix this game. And I wonder if this.
Phoenix hype.
I wonder if that's sort of a reaction to the. Oh my God, we do have Hellions coming out. Okay, well, I wonder if this is a reaction to the Liberator that came out last game that did so much economic damage, or she's legitimately planning to try and play this out. Because I know State has gone for this a couple of times, and again, I keep mentioning Scarlett is a very frequent viewer of State's stream.
Okay. Well, you are correct. These Hellions, man, they don't stop, and he's also making a medevac. So he might do the... Well, this map is a little different for that. I was thinking, you know, when you do the drop in one place and then you make the Hellions go somewhere else. That's what I was thinking, but... The Hellions are chilling at home, just hanging out. Oh, snap, though. This could be it. Drop inside of the natural. All of the SCV, or rather the probes, go to the main.
Well, Phoenixes, for those who don't know, this doesn't happen very often. The Phoenixes do extra damage versus Phoenix or versus Hellions because they are light units. Kind of funny to consider, but they can kill them in one graviton beam.
This is smart by Scarlett though. She has 3 of her adepts right on the ramp, so the Hellions are gonna derp into them. Watch out, ready? I hope you have airbags in your.
Oh, this drop already doing some good damage. Oh, killing off 7 workers so far.
What?
Marines gonna be doing some nice damage. The Hellions not able to really do a lot of damage to those adepts despite them being light units though.
No, they were doing the whole like bumper car thing where they just bumped into them over and over again. Because he was trying to multitask here with the drop inside of the natural, which actually did a lot. And
yeah,
remember, it's still here, Fear Dragon, and Scarlett is transferring more of her probes. No target though. Oof.
Does Scarlett realize it? She's moving her mother's core. I think that she probably realizes it.
My probes keep self-destructing. What the hell is up with this?
Wait a second, Tempo. When did the fleet beacon come down? When did this begin? Again.
Oh, okay. Well then, I don't know, Fear Dragon, but it's here, man. And there's nothing we can do about it. We're just gonna have to embrace it.
Scarlett's
the carriers are on the way, baby.
Okay, Scarlett's going to go straight after carriers. Not gonna make an oracle or anything. Scarlett's answer to this Widow Mine is such a Zerg thing. Let me get up a forge so I can build a photon cannon in my mineral line to deal with it. No. Let me not make an oracle. Let me not, get a robotics facility or anything.
Ain't nobody got time for oracles though. We need to make carriers.
Let me make the effective equivalent of a spore crawler to deal with the Widow Mine.
And she's gonna take some more damage here if she's not careful. Whoa, bam!
This Widow Mine is up to 13 kills.
Yeah, that's a lot of kills for a Widow Mine.
I feel like it's keeping JimRising in this game. That singular Widow Mine.
Mm-hmm. But on the other side of things, Scarlett trying to get some damage done with the Phoenixes. Already at the 7. Definitely not the same as that Widow Mine. Which finally got cleaned up, by the way.
Yeah. Did eventually get cleaned up. And a couple more SCVs going to be going down. Scarlett's doing a pretty good job of controlling these. Oh, Phoenixes. Oh, okay, until that. Tempo, you and I both know that I am a cursed individual. If I ever compliment someone on keeping Phoenixes alive, they immediately start losing them.
Pretty much. I mean, how many did she actually lose, or was it only just the one and then the splash?
She lost one of them and took a lot of splash damage. That is going to force her to lose a second one as well to the missile turret.
Maybe even a third one.
Less than ideal.
Well,
all right.
JimRising, I don't think he knows about the carriers.
No, he saw the fleet beacon. He must know.
Oh, he did see the fleet beacon.
Unless he thinks it was Tempest again. Because last game, Scarlett went for
he did go for the Tempest, yeah. But he's not making any Vikings or anything like that. So
he made a Liberator. Didn't continue that Liberator production. Just making pure Marines, which I think is honestly a really good response. You just want a massive number of Marines to kill off those interceptors, and after that, the Marines are just dead weight.
Uh-oh. Well, here they come, the units of JimRising. Gonna be...
Oh, these Widow Mines.
Widow Mines right below it.
Oh, killing off almost every single one of the interceptors. Scarlett has a couple of interceptors, I guess, left over on these carriers in the backside, but
the overstim,
Oh no!
Stim Jim, snap into a stim Jim. Oh yeah! As he pretty much loses every Marine, not only to the interceptors, but oh my God, Scarlett, please, don't
Scarlett, these actually can take some substantial damage. Oh God, this is the mothership core. I'm gonna lose more interceptors. How many interceptors have died? 24 interceptors have died. Not too bad.
Yeah, but that was losing the mothership core is always an annoying thing.
Well, she does immediately remake it at least.
I was gonna say, luckily for Scarlett, this game she didn't lose like every one of her workers, so she's actually gonna be able to make at least a few more interceptors throughout the course of this game.
I feel like Scarlett is inspiring an entire generation of Protoss players to just carry her.
Yo, she's inspiring me. Fear Dragon, I am not playing Zerg after today, man. It's it.
That's a scary thought,
in the next 36 minutes on Eastern Time, I am no longer a Zerg player. March is gonna start the new me, the new tempo.
Oh boy.
Carriers every game.
Well, JimRising plopping on in with these medevacs. Going to be going for the drop and should be able to get into a pretty decent position. I think Scarlett's that's the thing about carriers, like they are air units, they will move through ramps and choke points pretty quickly, but they are still kind of slow units. Robotic Facility is going to get sniped, and honestly, JimRising could just pick up and leave. I don't know if JimRising has that game sense, though, with Terran.
He's just like, nope.
I'm going to do all the damage.
You got to do as much as you can, you know, go big or go home. And 2 more medevacs are on the left side here for JimRising, but something to commend him about is definitely his macro. You know, it's kind of funny how before he was floating quite a bit, but he definitely puts up the production structures that he needs. It's just about remembering to use them eventually as the game goes on. He's really good at using all of them, though, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think this setup also isn't too crazy ridiculous. He's got a lot of reactors on these barracks and producing a lot of Marines. I mean, to hell with Marauders. Who needs a Marauder, right?
Nah,
but
nope. Marauders can't shoot carriers, Fair Dragon, okay?
That's actually a good point. In this game, it doesn't make sense to build Marauders.
But I do love these drops out of JimRising. He is multi-prong aggression, or rather using multi-pronged aggression pretty nicely, and he's gonna get right into the mineral line and take out so many of these probes, maybe.
Even gonna be able to kill off a carrier. Those carriers, they don't just cost a lot of resources, they take a long time to build. At the same time, it moves into the 3rd expansion.
Yep, but inside of the base of JimRising, gonna be a lot of adepts doing crazy amounts of damage. But Scarlett needs to worry about her own economy. I don't know if the storm is done yet, but if she does, she's gonna be storming her own dudes.
Oh, this is a weird moment right now. We have, well, the drop in the main base does get cleaned up. The push for JimRising still happening at the 3rd, and
he doesn't have storm.
Oh, no. Oh my god, I think that JimRising may just have enough to push on through. He takes out all the remaining workers at this 3rd. Scarlett down to 30 workers, but I mean, she's done a lot of damage with those adepts, but the adepts have been cleaned up.
Oh, they're getting cleaned up pretty well, but, you know, she did equalize. JimRising only on 19 workers at the moment. If these Widow Mines, I don't think they have the burrow upgrade. Oh, but the Marines are going to stim up.
Oh, but they're stimming, and they're going to just die much quicker to these interceptors. I think that Scarlett may be able to clean up over here.
She is going to clean up.
What is this game?
She lost the 3rd base, but, yo, the Vikings.
Vikings are target firing down these carriers, and I think with the Widow Mines also, no, Widow Mines do get sniped off. Micro! Photon overcharge! The Vikings are gonna get cleaned up!
These carriers are gonna take out the Vikings.
Scarlett's trying to take a 3rd. Widow Mines burrowing at a nice place where they might be able to snap off some of these probes, and JimRising is rallying across the map. JimRising taking a 4th.
I just don't know. The 4th base, I love it. He's like, you know what? Economy, baby.
I mean, I think JimRising's position is better, though, right? Even if Scarlett has some of these carriers.
Even if he doesn't have that many workers, either. He has triple mule at the moment. He could make that even higher here if he made that command center in an orbital, if he wanted to get greedy. Ooh.
Oh, man. A sentry would do wonders right now for Scarlett. I wish he would remember to warp those in.
Oh, she has a lot of gas. Oh, no. That is JimRising with a lot of gas. He's up to what looks to be... Is he still on 1-1?
But I don't actually like JimRising just rally across the map over here. Carriers are going to be able to decimate this Marine count. As long as they're sitting here in low numbers, unless the interceptors all get sniped off. Alright, here we go. This is a lot more Marines. The Adepts, though, doing a pretty good job. Marines trying to target fire down these units, but Scarlett's once again going to hold, and she's bringing her best stuff back in this game. What is this game, Tempo? What is this series? What is today? What is life?
Happening? What is happening? In the wise words of Funka, it's just absolute insanity. JimRising is rallying units like the tiniest groups of units. Oh, but the Warp Prism is going to go down. And he keeps on thinking he's going to be able to break Scarlett. Can he actually do it? Targeting down one of the carriers. A 2nd carrier goes down.
These are the carriers with most of the interceptors, Tempo. These are the carriers that had most of them made. And Scarlett losing so many of them. Even if she cleans up over here, that was a really, really expensive loss. That might have actually been enough for JimRising to start powering on through.
He is powering on through. The final carrier is going to get taken out. Almost. Not quite. This is so ridiculous, Fear Dragon. Like, what? This shit, like, pumped me up with that coffee.
Oh my god. That single interceptor taking out Marine after Marine.
You got this.
Mothership Core is also in the mix now, so if there is going to be available photon overcharge, if Scarlett keeps it alive, but Viking takes it out.
Oh my god. JimRising needs to like somehow
make SCVs?
Yeah, that could work too. I was thinking about jeez. What is a really gas intensive Terran unit? I just don't even know.
I mean, Ravens? Ravens could do well.
Yeah, he needs Ravens out right now. He needs like triple starport Raven right now.
Ironically though, Tempo, you know what actually is like a hard counter to Raven point defense drones?
What?
Carriers. Not because they drain the point defense drones, because they go through point defense drones. Point defense drones don't stop carrier shots.
Ah.
So it'd really just be Hunter Seeker Missile.
Hunter Seeker Missile and the auto turrets with the upgrade
auto
that
turrets,
makes them shoot 30% or whatever it was. The materials upgrade, I can't remember, but it's so beautiful.
Tempo, I really wish that Scarlett, when she had all those carriers coming, I wish she had gotten more +1 the weapon upgrades, because you have to remember.
I don't think she knows what building it.
She got a +1, but she didn't get +2. And like the reason why they're so important for carriers is you have to think about it like this: carriers have interceptors. They have 8 interceptors, right? Each interceptor attacks twice, and that means that the +1 weapons gives each one of those shots. So each interceptor gets a +2. And you have 8 of them, so it's effectively like a +16 on your weapon. It's a ridiculously large upgrade.
Who said that? Yeah, the carriers are the single most like the best DPS unit in the game once you get them fully upgraded.
They benefit the most from having higher upgrades in your opponent's armor. But she's not going to really have that situation. I honestly actually think like a lot of those engagements wouldn't have been nearly as close if she had like +2 weapon upgrade. That would have made an enormous difference. But this drop in the backside is going to be able to snipe off the High Templar, going to be able to snipe off a majority of the things over here. There's not a whole lot over here that Scarlett's actually doing with it. But so I think that she may even just, oh no, she's pulling her entire army out of position.
And you know what that means? It's Marine time. Gonna be jumping into the 3rd base here. There's only 1 carrier left. The probes are coming.
GG! Okay. JimRising is gonna advance on 2-0. I don't know if he's gonna continue playing Terran for the rest of the tournament. But that just happened.
That just happened. What? Oh man. My brain, Fear Dragon, my brain.
I have no words, ladies and gentlemen.
Was so good. Just like the fun of it, you know what I mean? Like,
that was a very fun series. And I'm really glad that Scarlett, she took the time to enter like a weekly cup and everything. It's like nice of them that they're interested in entering like a weekly cup. Well, they don't really have a whole lot else to do because Katowice is going on. No other tournaments are going to be scheduled right now except for online ones. And you know what? If you're going to do that, have some fun with it. I think that's like that's the right spirit for it. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to hop into a short little break as we go ahead and get ready to hop into our first semifinals. It's going to be Gamja facing off versus Bales. We'll see you guys in a little bit.